I hope they both rot in hell.
A 15-year-old is now facing charges in connection with the death of her Boyle County stepmother.
Coming up, Lexington police investigating a shooting last night that left 2 people injured, 1 in critical condition.
New plans filed for a long-stalled project downtown. Hear more about the project and what the developer had to say coming up.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Welcome to WKYT News at noon. I'm Barbara Bailey.
I'm Bill Bryant, and we begin with breaking news this afternoon here on WKYT, and it is out of southern Kentucky. Investigators tell us a police officer in Laurel County has been injured in a crash.
Now, they say the officer crashed during a chase along Rebecca Lane in London. That's just off the Hal Rogers Parkway. London police tell us an employee at Universal Linen Service, Christopher Gaines, was making threats at the business. Police say when they showed up, Gaines took off and they chased him. They say Gaines hit a London police cruiser during that chase. The officer in the cruiser suffered a shoulder injury. We're told he's a canine officer, but his dog was not hurt. A deputy's personal vehicle was also damaged. Gaines is now in custody, and we'll have an update to this breaking news alert on WKYT News at 12:30.
Well, stay with us for that. A 15-year-old Central Kentucky girl arrested in connection to her stepmother's death has now been indicted. Police say 52-year-old Rhonda Oakley was found murdered in the family's home back on September 1st.
Now her stepdaughter Jenna is charged in the death. Jenna Oakley and her 20-year-old boyfriend Kenneth Nye were arrested a few days after the murder in New Mexico. WKYT's Phil Pendleton takes a look at the indictment in our top story at noon.
The 15-year-old Jenna Oakley was indicted by a Boyle County grand jury on Thursday. She is facing 2 separate charges, a murder charge and a theft charge in connection to the death of her 52-year-old stepmother, Rhonda Oakley. Rhonda Oakley found dead in her home back on September 1st by her stepson when he came home from school that day. Jenna was then reported missing, police telling us she was probably in her stepmother's car. Jenna and her 20-year-old boyfriend, Kenneth Nye, were then found several days later in New Mexico. Nye was arrested on some unrelated charges at the time, and police said that he tried to kill himself in jail. Apparently, he is still in a hospital in New Mexico. Now, we spoke with Phil Oakley, Rhonda Oakley's husband, last month, who then had some really strong feelings toward his daughter and boyfriend.
I don't really want to say anything to her. I don't want to say anything to him. I hope they both rot in hell.
Now, we're not exactly sure where Jenna Oakley is now. She may be in a juvenile holding facility. State police in Richmond say she has not been formally charged with this indictment yet. However, when she is charged and when she is put in jail facing these charges, we are told by the indictment that she will not face any bail or any bond. In Boyle County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Now, according to the indictment, the murder or complicity to murder charge against Jenna Oakley is considered a capital offense.
2 people are in the hospital after another shooting, this one last night in Lexington. Police believe this crime was a robbery gone wrong, and it led to an hours-long standoff with police outside a home near the intersection of Red Mile Road and Unity Way. WKYT's Mike Byer is tracking down more about the investigation. Mike?
Lexington police are trying to figure out several key parts to this case. Perhaps one of the biggest things they're trying to figure out is if the 2 people shot were victims or suspects in the robbery that took place last night here in the area of Red Mile Road. Police say an 18-year-old was shot 4 or 5 times and a 22-year-old was also shot. One of them later showed up at a Shell station on South Broadway asking for help, while the other person showed up at St. Joseph Hospital. Police say the 18-year-old is now in critical condition, while the 22-year-old is stable and in surgery. Minutes after the shooting, police say they found the gun they believe was used in the shooting on the sidewalk near the intersection of Red Mile Road and Unity Way. Police soon surrounded a nearby townhome where they thought a possible suspect could be inside. For about 3 hours, police tried to make contact with the person they thought was inside. Just after midnight, police say they went inside the home but found no one there. Now, they think the person who had been in the home escaped through a window and got away. Police do not know the person's name or have a description of him. Now, police say they haven't been able to talk to the two people shot, but investigators are hoping those people can provide more details about this investigation. In Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. Lexington police tell us they are talking to several witnesses now. They have not released any of the names of the victims. Police in Louisville say they will charge a driver who they say hit 3 children at a school bus stop on Thursday. Louisville police say the bus came to a quick stop and an SUV driver swerved to the right to try to avoid hitting the bus. They say the driver did not see the children there on the sidewalk. The 3 children were rushed to the hospital. 2 of them are in critical condition today. A third is still in serious condition. The driver is also in the hospital in serious condition. Police will be charging the driver with having no insurance or registration.
It's business as usual for a Lexington store a day after a car slammed through its glass storefront. A car ended up inside the AT&T store on South Broadway yesterday afternoon. A woman inside the store was hit. She was taken to the hospital, but she's expected to be okay. Police say the brakes on the car went out and the driver hit the building when she swerved to avoid a car. The store owner tells us it is open for business today. They are hoping to get the storefront fixed next week.
Well, it's a wet start to our Friday. We had some of those showers that were moving through in the early morning hours during the morning commute. It's beginning to move on out, it looks like, right?
But some changes for the weekend as it's gone. Some other things are moving in. Just in time for high school football tonight. Cooler temperatures. You're going to need to keep that jacket.
Let's go to WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris live at our First Alert Weather Center with that cool look ahead.
Boy, you're right about that, especially about high school football. Most of us are going to be dry there for high school football. Here's what I cannot do. I cannot rule out a stray shower around the region during that time. That's the only problem we have. I guess the biggest thing that we're going to be seeing later on today is how cool we're going to be. It's going to stay pretty much the same as what we're seeing. I want to show you down south. Down south, that's where we have a few light showers. See them just slowly spark up, slowly build. Don't expect thunderstorms today, but just expect these light showers just to continue to funnel on in here with that wind coming in from the north and northwest. That's what's going to pump that on in here. As long as that system's just to the north and northeast of us, that will give us that chance. Here's another thing we got to watch out for. Maybe even an isolated spot for some frost. The average first fall frost is October 14th. We're about a week behind that. The latest frost, first fall frost, is November 9th, 1922. I mean, that was 94 years ago. So we're getting close to that because next week I don't see an opportunity for it. We're looking at 36 degrees or below, and we will have at least that opportunity there for the weekend with that forecast. We're going to go over all that and show you the afternoon forecast for your weekend if we have any chance of rain. That's coming up.
Thank you very much, and that's some perspective on those frosts.
We know about it now. It is coming. Well, a shakeup in the Centerpoint project in downtown Lexington. Developers have filed revised plans for the project.
There are not many changes surrounding the buildings and the businesses inside of Centerpoint, but developers are making some changes to the apartments in the plans. We've had a look now. WKYT's Lauren Miner takes a look at those revised plans. Lauren?
This project was approved back in 2008, and now a new set of plans have been filed to help fill the empty space downtown. The plans filed Wednesday included 2 hotels, an office tower, a restaurant, and a retail space. The developer of the project, Dudley Webb, says they are keeping the same design as before, but are placing the apartments into a different building. The previous plan had the apartments going into both hotel buildings. Now the apartments will be placed above the office building, which is planned to go on the corner of Limestone and Main Street. Webb says the 2 hotels will be a Marriott Hotel and a Residence Inn. The restaurant is planned to be a Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse. The office building and Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse should be finished by April of 2018. The hotels, Webb says, he hopes to see finished in August of that same year.
It's a huge impact. It's the $200 million still. It's the largest project ever undertaken in Fayette County, particularly with the private sector. It's a huge impact. It creates jobs. It does wonderful things for the tourism and convention communities. And it'll be a real milestone for downtown Lexington. It'll be a landmark.
As you can see behind me, construction has begun on the underground garage. Webb says that should be finished within 7 months. Reporting in Lexington, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
All right, thank you. And those new proposed plans will have to be approved by the Courthouse Area Design Review Board. That board is expected to review the plans on November 9th.
New this midday, the University of Kentucky is making a big change in how it gives out financial aid to students. Our news partners at the Herald Leader report that UK will focus more on students who need help paying for college. UK currently allocates nearly 90% of its financial aid to students based on grades and test scores. That will go to 65%, but no changes will be made to scholarships awarded for the 2016-2017 school year. UK leaders hope the change will improve graduation and retention rates.
And next on WKYT News at noon, Kentucky's #1 midday news. The election is 18 days away, but even a charity event can't stop Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton from trading some jabs.
And another shakeup in Trump's campaign staff. The latest from the campaign trail after the break. Well, here we go. There are just 18 days to go until Americans go to the polls to elect our next president.
But who's counting, right? The two leading candidates had plenty to say about each other during a charity event in New York City on Thursday night. CBS's Mark Albert has the latest on the campaign.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump had their separate ways today, campaigning in key battleground states ahead of the November 8th election. They were together Thursday night for a charity dinner that's supposed to include good-natured ribbing.
This is the first time ever that Hillary is sitting down and speaking to major corporate leaders and not getting paid for it.
Donald looks at the Statue of Liberty and sees a 4. Maybe a 5 if she loses the torch and tablet and changes her hair.
But the roast turned icy when the jokes took on a more personal tone.
Hillary is so corrupt. She got kicked off the Watergate Commission.
Trump is facing another shakeup in his campaign staff. Jim Murphy, his national political director, has resigned less than 3 weeks before Election Day. Sources tell CBS News the veteran Republican operative made the decision after the release of the 2005 Billy Bush tape showing Trump talking about forcing himself on women.
We shouldn't tolerate this behavior from any man, let alone a man who wants to be the president.
First Lady Michelle Obama slammed Trump's treatment of women while campaigning for Clinton in Phoenix. Mark Albert for CBS News, the White House.
Arizona hasn't voted Democratic in a presidential election since 1996, but the Arizona Republic issued a poll showing Clinton with a 5-point lead in the state.
Well, the Christmas tree going up at the U.S. Capitol is coming down next month, and it'll make a stop in Kentucky as it heads to Washington, D.C. This year's tree will be cut November 2nd near McCall, Idaho. It will be in Paducah as it travels from the Payette National Forest in Idaho to the west lawn of the U.S. Capitol. The Paducah Convention and Visitors Bureau says people can sign a banner from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on November 22nd in Noble Park. The banner will be displayed in Washington.
All right, a little stopover in Kentucky. Well, coming up a little later on WKYT News, a report at about 12:30 as we'll be going back to Laurel County, where an officer has been injured today in a crash.
Our Hillary Thornton is talking with police, working to get more details.
And now we're starting to see a lot of that rain move on out. However, don't let your guard down because we still have some of that rain that's going to be moving on through later on this afternoon. But when does it fade and how chilly is our weekend? I answer all of that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We started off this morning in the low 50s, and guess what? We have risen, 1 to 2 degrees, and that's it. We're sitting in the mid-50s. I mean, there's really not a big change in the forecast. We talked about it on WKYT this morning, that what it felt like this morning is basically what it's going to feel like later on this afternoon. You're not going to see a big change in temperatures just because of one thing, that wind coming out from the south or from the north and northwest, just funneling in a lot of that cloud cover, giving us even more rain chances. If this were a system that was in the, say, wintertime, this would be a nice little snow event because that wraparound moisture, northwest flow, typically during this time of year gives us a little rain to deal with. As that system, main system moves on through, you get the wraparound moisture, and here you go with a few showers going on in southern Kentucky. You can get some heavy embedded downpours, but for the most part, there's going to be light to moderate rain if you see any at all. There's not going to be much out of this, but just little spotty shots here and there with this flow coming in from the north and northwest. So that's what we're going to be looking at the rest of the afternoon. Do not expect full-blown sunshine. You're not going to get it. But as we go off toward the evening, I do expect a lot of those clouds and the rain chances to just fade away. You'll lose a lot of that energy. Here's 4 p.m. as the kids are coming home from school. I don't see much of an issue, but watch out for a couple of passing showers here and there. Head off toward the evening hours, and there you go. Upper 40s to lower 50s for high school football. Can't rule out a stray shower, but for the most part, most of us will be dry. Tomorrow morning, starting off in the 30s. There could be an isolated spot with some frost, but for the most part, no widespread frost expected. EKU's homecoming weekend is this weekend. Starts today, heads toward tomorrow. Big events tomorrow. You got the 5K and the parade at 10:30. You'll definitely need a coat. Kickoff, 55 degrees, and as you're heading home, it's going to be 52 degrees, still very chilly, but at least we'll get some sunshine in the action. 7-day forecast, the breakdown. Now, today and tomorrow, very chilly days. There's no doubt about it. Rain will be fading the rest of the afternoon, off into the evening. And then, like I said, guys, Saturday, it'll be a coat type of day. Whether it's the morning or afternoon, it doesn't matter. You will need that coat as those winds will be gusty too, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts even higher than that. Sunday, though, we rebound very nicely. This is only a 2-day stint where we're having pretty chilly conditions today and tomorrow. And then after that, we actually rise those temperatures back up. So the weekend, it's one of those times. Sunday actually looks pretty good.
And that's crazy to have a rebound that quickly,
crazy,
too.
Yes, absolutely. Big swing from the past 2 days to now.
Now, we're not swinging back there where we were, but,
not back there.
but
Yeah,
at least
right.
a little warmer.
There you go.
Thank you, Micah. We'll be back in just a moment. The basketball Cats are set to tip things off coming up.
A big upgrade for UK baseball. Dave Baker has sports next.
And as we head to break this afternoon, let's check stocks and see what's going on Wall Street. Mixed situation right now. The Dow is down, NASDAQ up a bit, and the S&P 500 off a little.
John Cohen didn't get one, neither did Gary Henderson, but new UK baseball coach Nick Mingione will get to oversee the building of a new baseball stadium. UK making the announcement just a short time ago that a new $49 million facility would be built off Alumni Drive. New stadium will feature 2,400 permanent seats with additional seating on grass berms for a total of 4,000 fans for regular season games. We'll hear more about that throughout the day and then in a scheduled news conference coming up on Monday. Well, John Calipari has spent the last couple of days talking. Tonight he can get back to coaching. That's at the annual Blue-White game. Yesterday it was his annual appearance before the Lexington Rotary Club, where he reminded the crowd he's always trying to think outside the box.
What is the next thing? How fast is stuff changing around us? How about your phone? Every 3 months they want you to buy another one. What's next? What's on the horizon? And how can we be first at it? Stay the gold standard. That's what we're trying to do.
And don't forget, tonight it's the Blue-White game from Rupp, 7 o'clock on the SEC Network. The football Cats still a slight underdog against Mississippi State tomorrow night. Cats will have to contend with quarterback Nick Fitzgerald, who presents a dual threat. He scores here against BYU, but guess what? He ain't no Dak Prescott, who's moved on to the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, I caught about 10 minutes of that game in Lambeau yesterday, so and definitely we talked about it. I just had such great respect for him and have such great respect for him. Playing him, I always felt like he was so underrated. You know, and I talked a lot about that in this press conference last year. I think I said he should be a Heisman Trophy candidate, and I think most people laughed at me, but I just had great respect for him. I knew what he was doing for that team.
Nobody's laughing now. Cats back in action tomorrow night at Commonwealth against Mississippi State. It's a 7:30 kickoff on the SEC Network. And tonight on the Big Blue Insider, Ryan Lemon sitting in for Dick Gabriel to preview the Cats and the Dogs. That's at 6 on 6:30 WLAP. We'll preview a big sports weekend later today on the WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington. But for now, guys, that's a look at sports. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. And after all that work, you have a nice one as well. Thank you, Buzz.
Absolutely. There's more to come in our next half hour of WKYT News at noon.
Wet roads being blamed for a serious crash this morning in Lexington, but a man who lives near the scene says it's a common sight for him.
Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $25 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $151 million.